All right, before we dive in, I have to tell you, you are going to love this conversation. Jasmine Jonte is beyond lovely and also the kind of person that tells you exactly what you need to hear, not just what sounds good. And around here, we call that a win. Jasmine is the founder and CEO of CRE8TION, where she helps top experts turn what they know into transformational revenue generating programs. But what really sets her apart is her background. She started as a first grade teacher in one of Detroit's lowest performing schools. There, she learned how to take complex ideas and make them simple, engaging, and actually stick. And that shows up in everything she does. Because here's the truth. We don't need more courses and just all the information. We need programs that give real transformation. And Jasmine has built her entire business just around that. She and her team literally ghostwrite courses from start to finish. Scripts, slides, workbooks, portals, all of it, so her clients can stay in their zone of genius while still delivering a world-class experience. And over the past 6 years, she's produced over 120 programs, 1,500 lessons, and reaching more than 100,000 students, and that means millions of revenue created. So yes, she knows what she's doing. Now, I will say this. I have tipped my toes into courses, and I'm going to be super transparent here, y'all. I haven't done it well. I love my one-on-one consulting. I love being in the room, and bringing a digital course into the world, that is no small feat, which is exactly why I wanted to have this conversation. Because if you've ever thought about creating a course for your business, especially a brick and mortar business where you're maybe repeating the same thing over and over, or you think you have a great idea that could serve your clients well, this episode is going to bring you some real clarity. So without further ado, I am super excited for you all to learn and listen from Jasmine Jonte. Welcome to the Visibility Podcast, where busy isn't a strategy and doing all the things stops today. Let's make your business the go-to option in your industry. Hey there, I'm Melissa Rose, and I'm your host. Let's get real. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Visibility Podcast. We are in for a special treat today because I have always wanted to create a course for my community. And when I say course, I mean something that brings in real money. And have you thought about doing that? I know I have coached clients who said, oh yeah, and I want to do a course. And it's been a conversation. We talk through it. We talk about the pros and cons. And it's not something that's just, oh yeah, let's do it. There's a strategy. There's a lot of thought. There's a lot of behind the scenes that needs to happen. And quite honestly, it doesn't always happen. So I wanted to bring on Jasmine because she is somebody who helps people create that course that's been on their mind. But she is very strategic in how she does that to make sure that it's a win for you. She does not want you creating something that's just buried in your laptop. Before we do that, I am going to tell you to go grab a social post or an event that you have coming up and bring it on over to your Google Business profile. We want to make sure that's optimized and engaged weekly at least. And if you don't know what I mean by that, please go grab my free Google Business Profile Workshop. It's listed here in the show notes, msmelissarose.com/deals. That's where all the goodies are. And you can grab that free. I also have a live workshop that I bring every month. And that is where you can come in. We walk through it, how to do it, where to do it, what to do. And you get some free bonuses with that as well. So if you want to do it live with me and meet me and ask the questions, that is there. The dates are there. Otherwise, please grab the free workshop and watch it on your own and apply it so that you are being found, liked, and trusted first. All right, you guys, we have a stellar guest. I really thoroughly enjoyed my conversation with Jasmine Jonte. We dive into the difference between creating a course that simply shares information versus one that actually creates transformation, and why that difference is everything when it comes to results, reputation, and revenue. We also get into when is it actually the right time to create a course, because yes, timing matters and most people get it wrong. The truth about the $39 course trap and why low ticket isn't always the smartest play, and how to think about a course as a business asset, not just another thing to do on your list. Jasmine is direct, she's thoughtful, and she's incredibly good at what she does. And around here, we believe direct is kind. So if you've been sitting on ideas, spinning your wheels, and wondering if a course is the next right step, this episode is going to help you think about it in a whole new way. I am so excited to welcome Jasmine Jonte to the Visibility Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right, you guys, this is something that I, as a business owner, have been asked as a business coach. I've done it in my business, and Jasmine is an expert in it. So tell everybody, Jasmine, who you are and what you do and who you serve.
So, my name is Jasmine. Hi. And I have an agency, but it's probably an agency unlike something you've heard of before. We're a program design and development agency. So, what that means is we work with experts, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, business owners, right? We pull the wisdom out of their brain and put it into online learning experiences that are leveraged offers. So, what I mean by leveraged offers could be that self paced online course, group coaching program, certification, membership, community, is something that you license to corporate. Like it can take a whole lot of different form factors, but the thing that brings all of those together is one, they have a curriculum. So usually that's like a video-based course, but AI is changing things there. I'm saying some
Mhm.
different things.
Mhm.
And then in addition to that is the client experience. So not just like the information, but how are we creating an experience that drives transformation? And it is so fun. I joke that I should play trivia because we've done everything from cosmetic tattooing to dentistry
Oh,
and
fun.
tarot cards. So it's
Yeah.
like it's fascinating the like diversity of experts we get to partner with.
That is fascinating and exciting. Exciting.
Yeah,
Okay, so don't think that this doesn't pertain to you if you are in something crazy and different and fun. And Jasmine, tell us a little bit about your background, how you got to here, because that's important.
for sure. Yeah. So I come from a teaching background. I taught in the lowest performing school in the country at the time was
Mm,
in Detroit, Michigan, and absolutely loved my kids. I loved, no surprise, the curriculum development, and I
mm,
loved taking them on special field trips and like making magic moments for them. But it was a tough environment to be in. So I taught for 4 years, 3 years in that school in Detroit. And I just got to a place where I realized I needed to move out of that for my health, but also because I wanted more out of my life than what I was personally finding in the classroom. Not to speak ill of teachers, I think they're the
no.
heroes
Mm,
of heroes, but I just wanted something different. And so I moved in the online space. I like niche hopped for a while. Like I couldn't figure out where I fit and what my genius zone was. And I really struggled with marketing because I didn't know anything about marketing. It was a huge gap for me. I bought a course on marketing and it was like $7,500
okay.
and it was terrible. It was so bad. The program itself was just like he had gone on a walk, he had recorded himself, and some
Ah,
VA had dubbed slides on top. It was just like such a bad experience. I couldn't believe that he was making multi-millions of dollars with it.
hmm
So I recognize that gap that just because experts know what they know and can market what they know
hmm
doesn't mean they can teach it well.
mm.
And I've been doing this ever since.
That is so, so true. That is so, so true. Just because you are really, really good at it. I'm a dance teacher. All right, everybody. So
Yes.
we just assume great dancers are going to be great teachers, and that is not the case. I always tell my kids the best way to get better is by teaching somebody else, because if you can teach them, so somebody on the soccer team, if a kid is struggling, go help them out because you're going to be a better player because of it. Um, but for business owners, okay, so let's say we're a local PT and you are maxed out, you are booked out. Um, you could grow, you could expand, but that would mean moving a location, the cost of that up, and then you have the overhead. Okay, now we got to bring in more overhead, then we got to bring in more payroll to cover that. So you know the domino effect here, everybody, business owners, especially my local brick and mortars, that's a constant thing. So and I have worked with clients who have like, well, what about a course? And I'm always a little leery because I have done that in my brick and mortar because same thing. I'm teaching the same thing over and over. Why not do it? But it becomes another can of worms, A, to market, possibly. All right. So when
Mhm.
and just the creation of it. And like you said, we don't want to create something halfway, and sometimes it is, and the tech stuff, we get bogged down by that. So tell us, as a coach, as an expert in this industry of what you do, when is the good time to do this? When should business owners start thinking about it? And what mindset can we get over of like, oh gosh, this isn't going to be a waste of time, a waste of resources. How can we make it actually be a revenue builder for our business?
Yeah, really great questions. And you're right. You want to make sure you're ready to do it. A lot of the indicators you mentioned, like being fully booked out, that's a really good moment to step back and consider, okay, if I go online and if I create a leveraged offer online, something that doesn't require me to trade my time for it, will that be a good evolution for the business? And notice I said evolution. I didn't say different business because people make that mistake often, especially like I'm thinking about folks with like like photography studio owners. I'm like trying to think about brick and mortars, restaurant owners. I've had some restaurant owners approach
Let's
me
do
in
the
the past.
photography because that has been a client of mine,
Okay.
a great
Okay.
photographer. And then go further with that.
So let's say you're a photography studio owner and you're booked out, meaning like the studio is either rented or you have clients who are coming to you for photography.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it's brand, family, whatever. Well, that means you have one type of client that you're marketing to, selling to, all of your funnels,
Mm-hmm.
all of your traffic, anything that you're doing is directed toward that avatar.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to teach other studio owners
It's a whole different.
or other photographers, that's a completely different audience. That's a
Yes,
kind of a different business. Now,
exactly.
it
Exactly.
doesn't mean that like that's the wrong move, but it just means you need to be informed and like make that decision knowing you're kind of starting a second business. Yeah, they're like
Yes.
sisters, you know, but it's in the same family, but it's not the same business.
Thank you
And
for
so like
saying that because that is such a big deal. And that's what I see a lot too, is that they want to do this going and I'm like, and they think it's just a simple, oh, we'll just do this. And it's not. It's a whole different audience you have to connect to, market to, get in front of, and that's another job or business. Okay. So just think about that. Okay, going on. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, it's
it's
good. It's
true.
great. Yeah, so I think like that's a biggie is recognize if you're in that boat or not. And let's say, you do decide you want to move forward with a program, like you're booked out, you think it makes sense. Just know that you want to think about how it fits into your offer suite.
Mm-hmm.
So is this program going to be a downsell? Meaning, if you're like a high ticket consultant. Cool. Do you have a bunch of leads that are either on your list from promotions or that are coming and booking calls with you that don't qualify? Well, then having something that's more mid ticket that they can say yes to as like a downsell makes a ton of sense. You can also use it in the funnel to ascend people who maybe aren't sure. They get that mid ticket and then they ascend into your higher ticket, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have to start to think about it as an offer suite. And the other big, I won't say mistake. I'll phrase it this way: there's a big difference in the mindset of my 6 figure and my 7 figure business owners with a program. And the biggest shift here is 6 figure business owners see it as an offer, like they want to add a program to their suite. 7 figure business owners see it as an asset. They see the curriculum as something that they can repurpose, that they can turn into other things. So, like, for example, a CFO we worked with recently, he had a book. We turned that book into a video based program. He has now used that video based program to train his team, to
Mm-hmm.
sell, to like to just sell as a program. He's using it with his one-on-one clients to
Mm-hmm.
get better results faster for them. He's never repeating himself
Mm-hmm.
ever. And it's like such a powerful asset in the business. It's something he did one time and he's repurposed it a bunch of different ways. We've also had clients turn their curriculum into softwares. We've had which is like one of our clients is charging like $30,000 per company to use his software.
Mm-hmm.
And he can do that annual licensing all the live long day.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's like you have to commit to seeing it as an asset and doubling down on knowing your content is good and deciding that even if the first way you'd use it didn't work, there is another way to use it.
Yes. So true. Because that's what I learned with with my little platform. And I'm geeking out over here because so for those of you that have been around the block a couple times with me, I have this little mini online course called Dance on Demand. And it was meant to be originally was curriculum that I was selling to studio owners. But again, the problem of a total different market, a different niche, all the things, and I was just that became big. So then it became Dance on Demand, which is right what you're talking about. It becomes another product in the product suite that makes sense. But now it's become an asset because it also helps train my team, and it becomes an asset for just curriculum for in the studio, and it becomes a bonus for my current members that they get access to this as a bonus for extra practice and working, and they love it. Now, this is such a micro thing. Like I'm not currently promoting it really big, but I love how you worded that as far as not just a course or something to offer, but an asset. Like how can you use it internally, externally, and beyond? So thank you. That's lovely. Very fun.
Hmm.
So you talk a lot about you come from a teaching background, and my teachers are super organized and detailed. You really are. I'm not as detailed as I would like, but you like the systems. You saw the development, the curriculum development. So this is where you landed in your business. So talk to us about the experience versus the transformation because you have some big thoughts around that.
Curriculum is the asset, right? That you can
Hmm.
pivot a bunch of different ways. And you need the experience to back that up. And what I mean by experience is how are they spending time with you and with the people who have also opted in for whatever the program may be? Um, Especially with like the rise of AI. Now the market, like the general public, has made the distinction, thank God, that information does not equal transformation. Back in 2020, they thought that. They thought, oh, if I just bought a course and I learned how to do this thing, I would get the result. And that's why so many people have, I don't know, what, a dozen programs sitting in the course graveyard of their laptop, like never to be opened again.
Hmm.
And it's because what those experts were doing is they just put all of their information into a video and put it behind a paywall and sold the heck out of it, which good on you. Like, way to go. There is value to that. But it's not as valuable as giving someone an experience to help them have personalized feedback, to do skill drills, to integrate it into their life, to socialize the learning with other people going through it. Like, that's where we see people really change. And at the end of the day, most people who are putting their information in a course, they're not doing it just to make a buck. They're doing it because they want to see people's lives impacted.
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
that's why you've got to have both sides of this coin and really I think the easiest way to do that is to recognize who your ideal client is and what support do they need and
Hmm.
then give it to them and be aware that if there's a certain transformation you're going after and it's going to require support that you're unwilling to deliver, just don't do it.
Don't
Or,
do it the whole thing or don't do that
yeah,
aspect. Don't do it the
yeah,
whole.
because if you think about like, okay, I want to deliver this amazing, crazy, mega high transformation, but it's going to require me to be on a call once a week, and it's
Mm.
going to require me to learn how to be a community leader, and it's going to require me to run an annual event once a year, right? I'm just making things up.
Right, yeah.
But like, let's say it required all of those things, but for my lifestyle, like I'm not interested in that. I don't want to do that. So I half-ass it
Hmm.
and I only do, one of those three things, but people don't get results. Now my reputation is affected
Hmm.
because people said, "Oh, she's selling this thing," and people bought it, but they only kind of got lukewarm. They didn't really get all the way there. So it's like I feel like the cream is rising to the top in this world of AI. You have to be really committed to the students and actually getting them results, even though it's a leveraged offer, meaning you don't have to like be doing one-on-one coaching or trading time for money or whatever that looks like, or doing the done for you service, right? Like whatever that looks like. Um, so I think it's overall net net a good thing because the standards are rising, the consumer standard is rising, which means the expert has to hit that level or, ideally over
Mm-hmm.
deliver and
Mm-hmm.
surpass it.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the industry, like that's what I say, the cream is rising to the top. If you're unwilling to really get after it for your students or you don't have the goods, like you're just not ready yet, it's just not going to work. You
Mm-hmm.
could kind of get away with it 4, 5, 6 years ago. You can't really get away with it anymore.
Yeah. Giving it all. Okay. You talk about giving too much overwhelm. So do you help your clients narrow down what is best for that core? Help us with a walkthrough of that because I can see myself or another business owner, oh, I could do this and I can do this, and then help us navigate that. Like
Yeah.
what we don't need to
Let me,
offer it all. And do you help with like I'm getting in the logistics of this because I'm just fascinated by what you do. So tell us a little
um,
bit about that. Like give us a scenario of somebody coming in and
sure.
wanting to work with you.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a brick and mortar since I know you, and a local business since I
Like
know you
a
attract a
physical
lot of those.
therapist. I have a physical therapist that's been a question. You know, they get people coming in, they specialize in a certain way. Let's say they specialize in shoulders injuries. So they get a lot of people doing that. And, or let's say knee injuries, they want to run, you know? So they think,
Hmm.
okay, let's get a running course, beginner, da 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 da.
Hmm.
And then I can throw in these PT things that to help them be strong.
Yes, you can absolutely do that. Actually, I have a client who's a physical therapist. I didn't think about him until you halfway through. And now great, we have an example.
Yeah.
Um,
So how do you
so
work with them? They
his
come to
name's
you and say,
Jake.
hey, Jasmine, I want to do a course. Help me.
Yes. Like absolutely. In that instance, you absolutely can. I think one point is the curriculum. For something like that, it should be short and sweet. Shouldn't be a whole ton of curriculum, especially if it's just like true physical therapy exercises, which I'm not a physical therapist. So
Right.
if you're listening and you're a physical therapist, please don't, don't judge because I don't know. I'm just using it as an example. But um, yeah, if it's true exercises, then I think there's power in, yes, giving them some kind of curriculum that lets them go in and know exactly what to do every day. That can be interesting to actually have like a 30-day, like one thing you do every day that
Mm.
builds up is a bit cumulative. So the body gets to work through it in its own time. We're not pushing or easing back to like in the right sequence. But also, I think giving them in that kind of experience, you can give them almost like a choose your own adventure where
Oh.
it's like like snail's pace versus hare's pace or like slow, medium, fast or something like
Hmm.
that that gives them a pacing guide so they can personalize the journey without necessarily needing your one-on-one time. Also, in things like that, having a certain number of like emergency sessions can be a really juicy value add to the offer.
Mm.
So let's say I'm feeling really good. I go out and I play baseball with my kid, and like, ow, like something
Yeah.
I thought I was good and I am not good, and like I need help.
Uh-huh.
Well, you can have those you can give them two for the program or three or whatever cadence you want to do. And usually it's like, I'll get back to you within 24 hours is the,
So that's kind of the personalized experience, the personalized entrance to you without being a full-on in-person
yeah,
client.
without having to
Yeah.
like come in once a week
Mm-hmm.
to the brick and mortar and
Mm-hmm.
like to the
Mm-hmm.
space and do the
Mm-hmm.
things. And I think sometimes it's it's tough for a business owner like a physical therapist to continue to consider it because
They're already
what
maxed
they're
out.
doing is already working,
Sure.
you know?
Sure.
So I also am a fan of like, if it's already working and you're good with it, then like be good with it. But if you want to grow and expand or you want to be able to not be in one place, like remote, you want to be remote, then sometimes you've got to learn a new way of doing things
Mm-hmm.
and be okay with the fact that, yeah, like your curriculum might render you unnecessary. Like that's an identity. It's an
I love
identity
how you
nugget.
are saying such ooh, spicy things. I love it.
I mean, but like that for real, like I've have enough people like, they book on a call with me every week and they're like they want to maintain this identity of being it's like the ego death, right? Of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, but I'm so important. My education makes me so important and you can't possibly teach what I have to teach in 3 hours. And I'm like, yes, we can. And
If
they
it's
have to
not you,
kind
it's
of
going to be somebody else because they
right.
can find it.
Yeah. Well, and I know people from having enough clients at this point. We've done like 150 programs or something. Like, I have people who come to me who say, "You're the only one who told me I wasn't ready yet."
Mm,
And there were other people trying to sell them $50,000 packages when they actually weren't ready. And because they also had a call with me, they were like, okay, she tells me the truth. And then they come
hmm
back to me 3 months later,
hmm
ready.
hmm
So, you've got, it's like a weird thing because we think, oh, it's just business. It's just, adding a program to my offer suite but it's not. It's like it can change you as a human. Kind of like authors. I don't know if you've heard authors say this, it's like life before and after they wrote a book. They're an
Sure.
author now.
Yeah,
It's like an identity change. It's
it
the
is.
same thing here.
So much good here. Thank you, Jasmine. You talk a little bit about AI tools becoming more popular for the course creation. Um, and you touched on that a little bit between efficiency and authenticity. But then you also have talking about maybe an AI tool within the course, or so talk a little bit about the way AI has impacted course creation and the benefits and things that you're seeing.
Oh man, goodness, there's so many
In
amazing things
yeah, in
happening.
like 3 minutes.
There's okay, 3 minutes. There's a good buffer. There are so many amazing things we can do
Yes.
with AI. Really, it comes down to personalization at scale. One of my favorite things we've done recently is an AI coach clone. You may have seen them out there at this point. It's taking an Excel, like I'll talk about Adalia. She's a PR guru for influencers, people like models who want to get into Fashion Week. Okay, so she helps the creators of the world, influencers and creators of the world. And she has so much content. She's an absolute powerhouse, and everything was dependent on her time. Like everyone wanted the Adalia secret sauce because it was like you'd talk to Adalia, and the next thing you know, you're front row at Chanel Fashion Week. Like it was like she's just got that magic about her. And her time is limited though,
Yeah.
right? Like she was the bottleneck. So we took all of her content, all of her training, all of her resources, like everything, and we put it into an AI. Now it's a closed container. So what that means is it can't like go to Instagram and pull this other PR agency's content and feed it. It's like just Adalia's brain. And what the students are able to do is they're able to Q&A with it about anything. It could be, they redid their Instagram bio and they want feedback. And they screenshot the Instagram bio and pull it into the coach
Mhm.
clone. And it's like, here's what's good, here's what could be better. It could be like a pitch that they're sending and they can get feedback on that, or just general questions about the program that they're in or not, because it's just all
Mhm.
things Adali's brain. Um, and in her main signature program, it's one of like the most appreciated features. So that's a coach clone example. We also have had a lot of success doing things that are like custom GPTs. So it's a little more of a specific use case. We have one, it's called Course Flicks, and it's based on the idea of how to make your courses binge worthy as Netflix.
Mhm.
And it's a lead magnet, and it's like one of the easiest things to do. You just take a current lead magnet that you already have that's highly valuable. Maybe it's a really long PDF. Ours was a really long PDF. It has 10 strategies about um, how to make your course binge worthy,
Yeah.
basically with client stories and stats and all this stuff. So we put it into a GPT, and now it takes them through a quiz. It's like a 10 question Cosmos style quiz, and they get the one strategy that is meant for them. So we're immediately reducing the overwhelm of this big long PDF and makes it valuable. And people are like, I had a guy like 2 weeks ago say, well, I've done most of my course with Courseflix already. So it's pretty cool what you can do just
Yes.
with like those two things, which are so easy. Like anyone can do. Like you don't need us to do that. Like you can absolutely go do that and spend a couple hours and you'll have this brand shiny new AI asset.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And to use it as an opt-in. Super fun.
Oh my
Fun.
gosh. And the big mistake I see, so if anybody does that, make sure you train the GPT on how to upsell your services. Because everybody's like plugging their content in, but they're not actually using it as a sales tool. So like have some triggers in there that when someone asks this kind of question, remind them they can book a call with you or they can buy your program or like whatever it is.
Okay, you guys, she just gave you gold. Like just rewind that 5 minutes there. And it's like, wow, thank you. Yes. Oh, so good. So good. All right. So you help somebody create the course. They come to you, they say, Jasmine, I have all this information. You help them solidify it, bring it down, really map out a course, like you help all that. So tell us just a little bit about the process. Like, how long should somebody anticipate? What buckets do they need to have checked in order to be like, yep, this is the right time, so that they can step in and jump in and work with you.
Yeah, the best box to tick is like, are you booked out? Are
Hmm.
you sold out?
Yeah.
Do you want to create a leveraged offer? And are you down to become a digital marketer in order to do it and or hire a digital marketer
Okay.
to do it? Because if you're selling like a $10,000 consulting package and now you have a $1,000 course, well, now you need 10 clients at that $1,000 course to make the $10,000 package
Hmm.
rate, right? So
Hmm.
you need more people through the pipe, full stop. Now there's a lot of ways to do that, but you have to either, again, be willing to like spend the time and energy learning those skills or hire someone
Yeah.
who can help you with those skills, right? So that's kind of readiness factors. And then what we do is first we evaluate what the client has. Like often they'll come to us with presentations or podcast recordings, or like they have some kind of body of work. Some of them don't. Some of them have absolutely zero, which we
Yeah.
can work with.
Yeah.
But usually they come with something. And then we do the marketing phase. And this is when we get clear on the offer,
Hmm.
how it fits into the brand, and what's the marketing plan. So people walk away with like a day by day schedule of here's what you should be posting and when, here's the promotional calendar that you're doing month over month. It's something they have to build up to. But now we have alignment between the vision for the program, the marketing, and then your team. So if you hire like a social media person who's going to post for you, amazing. Now they know exactly what they need to post where and when.
Hmm.
So it creates that alignment on the team. Um, Most people at the end of that, they're like, oh my gosh, it could actually happen. I hope this can work, to like, oh shoot, it actually could work.
Hmm. Hmm.
What now?
Yeah.
So that's the marketing phase. And then we move into the actual build out, which there's a few things that happen. First, we'll architect like the IP and the framework, we'll architect the outline. During our build phase, our learning experience designers interview the client and they pull out all that wisdom and then they develop the slides, the workbooks, the scripts, the video scripts, the AI assets, like literally anything that needs to be built is built before we do video production,
Hmm.
video editing, and then pulling it all together in the portal um, around the client experience side of things. So that's the curriculum.
Yeah.
And most people come to us because they're like, I understand that this is many small skills that all
Yes.
require time and energy to learn. And
Hmm.
it's a big series of dominoes that you have to do
Hmm.
in the right sequence to kick them over efficiently.
Exactly.
Um, and then on top of that layer is the client experience, which is client communications, community design, I mean, feedback loops, if there's live event experiences, graduation experiences, certification guidelines. Like there's a lot that can go into that, but I feel like most people can glom onto the fact that, okay, I know I need a curriculum, and that's the process.
Is it a set amount of time that you block out for them, or is it ongoing?
It is a set amount of time. I'm like, let's get this puppy up,
Let's get
launched,
it
and
done.
ROIing. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so when you know that it's a fit, when it's both for you, how long is that?
Like a signature program, which will sell if it's like a self-paced program, which I don't recommend, but if it is a self-paced program, sometimes they work like 997 verse and like again, signature program. We've also built 10, $15,000 group coaching programs in this window, and it's 3 months if we're not doing the video, and it's 4 months if we do the video, meaning like they come to Phoenix, they come in our studio, they do the recording, and we do all the editing.
Wow.
So 3 to 4 months. A mini course, like something that's 45 minutes to an hour of content, takes 6 weeks to 2 months, just depending on some factors.
That's fast. That's way faster than I thought. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, we got
Wow.
to get it out there.
That's amazing. That's great. And I love that you do the marketing first. Like you show them and like you got to know exactly who you're marketing to and your niche and how are you going to say it, where you're going to say it, and how you're going to do it. All that stuff that's so, so important. Because how often do we build it before we know? And we're like, "Oh, just throw it out there
I
and see
know.
who likes it."
I mean, I don't know about you. I just have like no desire to work on programs that don't actually create an impact at the end of the
Yes.
day. And like
Yeah.
the marketing and sales is the glue from, hey, I have this idea and I can help people to like, I actually helped someone.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We
Yeah.
want to help people. We want to help you succeed, however that looks. And I love that you're blatantly honest. I appreciate that, Jasmine. People no, genuinely, you said some fun stuff here that I was like, yes. But to tell them you're not ready yet, or it's not the right time, or having them really sift through that because it's in nobody's best interest to do something that's not gonna uh,
No.
be be profitable and help and make an
Yeah.
impact. As my coach says, if there's no money, there is no mission. So that's what we have to
Mm-hmm.
do. So,
Yeah.
is there anything else that would like to share with the visibility community?
I mean, you can get that that course flicks I talked about if you just go to creation.co/Netflix. You can grab that, play with that, have fun with that.
Yeah,
If you're questioning whether or not it's the right time for you, you're welcome to book a call with me. It's pretty clear. I'll shoot you straight.
yeah,
And you can find information about that on my website also. And overall, I'd say just like keep fighting the good fight because I feel like you know, business owners, like we are the employers of the world, and
mm,
there's a lot of uncertainty right now. The more that we can like stand in our certainty and stand for what we believe in, the more we'll be able to just like shift some like the frequency, the energy of what's happening right now out there in the world that all of our employees, contractors, team are feeling.
mm.
And so take that for what it is, but like keep on keeping on, boo, because
Yes, yes.
you might not feel like it every day, but you're the world changer. I think us as business owners, we're the ones who really get to shift in ways we don't necessarily see.
I love that. Thank you, Jasmine. That was lovely
My pleasure.
said. So first of all, thank you so much for being here. What a beautiful guest. I'm always interested in this, so I will be, I'll probably be booking a call. Okay, there. I said it out loud, so that will hold me accountable. Every week, month, year that we are in business is just more proof that our work is needed and valued and seen. And it just gives us that much more energy because when you have those bad days or those bad weeks, you just have more proof to show that you have gone through it and you have gotten to the other side. So keep on keeping on because that is so true. We are the change makers. So great work. Great work. Thank you, everybody, for visiting, listening, and share this with a business bestie who you think should have a course and send them on over to Jasmine. All right, everybody, have a great week. We'll see you here, same time, same place next week. Peace. Bye bye.